Can you believe it? I'm still doing this. It's session number 6. 6? Yes, 6 of the Mijello Journal. For those just arriving, this series is where I play with the pure pigment set of Mission Gold watercolors. Check out the description for a link to the playlist of all videos in this series. So far, I've covered red brown, viridian, dioxazine violet, cobalt black, and cobalt cerulean blue deep. This time I'm playing with green gold, PY150, a pigment that's generally known as nickel azo yellow. It's highly light fast, transparent, and staining. You'll see the proof of that last part a little later when my left thumbnail acquires a sickly yellowish tinge. Usually, I like to doll up my hands with some pretty nail lacquer, but I was bare this day. Yeah, I kinda felt naked. Imagine it. A nude old woman with yellow fingernails. Scary, isn't it? Like something out of room 237, or was it 217? In either case, totes fitting for the spooky season. No need to be frightened, though. I was fully dressed for this session. Or was I?
Behind my heart advice, X and drifting memory that I couldn't keep on my vinyl. Aphrodite, baby, my soul is sad and I really don't wanna mess it up with you. You're my final. Gotta fix it out, feeling and chasing to see beyond doubt, and gotta be a fool to search beside you. Gotta fix it out, feeling and chasing to see beyond doubt, and gotta be a fool to search beside you.
Here, I kept the porcelain mixing palette in view, so you could get a peek at each color before mixing. Next time, I'll scooch that up for better visibility. I love my small flower-shaped porcelain palettes, but I find myself using this large round one more often lately. Sometimes it's nice to work in one big area rather than multiple small ones, because color can't be contained. Sort of like the mess on my drawing table. Every time I push something out of the way, something else falls off the edge. Some might say there's a solution to that problem, but I've tried piling things on top of each other, and that just brings a whole nother set of issues. The palette I keep my Mission Gold paints in is also from Mijello. It's plastic and has 33 wells. I pop out the inner tray and hold it in my left hand for these sessions. It's so lightweight that it's not a problem at all. Not like dirty paint water. I've got 2 jars on my table, but it's not enough. One of these days, I may go ahead and bring in 2 large buckets, one to dump dirty water into and the other to ladle clean water from, to refill the jars. That way I wouldn't have to interrupt a 2-hour recording session for 3 trips to the bathroom. Now, interrupting my sleep at night, that I have no control over.
Oh my need someone to hold my mind. I need someone to hold my mind.
Does that not give the fall feels? I hadn't thought much about it before, but PY150 looks to be a go-to yellow for rich oranges, lively greens, and warm browns. Speaking of oranges, I ate some delicious cuties the other day. Sweet, juicy, and seedless. Best of all, easy to peel. That's because there are few things as rage-inducing as a hard-to-peel orange. I'm being only partly facetious. I don't eat enough fresh fruit. For one thing, I have to have thought ahead and bought some to fill the fruit bowl. For another, I have to remember the filled fruit bowl was moved to a mystery spot to make room for more junk mail on the dining table. So when my body is yelling at me to ingest fresh fruit fast, time is of the essence. And it doesn't help when I don't even know what it is I'm trying to peel. Is it a mandarin or a tangerine? Maybe it's a clementine. See? Getting furious at fruit makes sense now, doesn't it? So this is just inside the entryway of an imaginary witch's cottage. While sketching the design, it occurred to me that the proper term for that particular sort of wall trim is baseboard. I'd always called it molding, which I believe is technically correct, but is more commonly used for upper wall trim, as in crown molding. I don't know how that eluded me, especially after all the This Old House I watched on PBS during the 1980s. You know, back when Bob Vila had the workers on site carefully explain what needed to be done, then he basically said, "Good luck," and left. Sure, it all sounded good, but more than one pair of homeowners looked as if they regretted the whole business, especially while having to demo and deal with power tools for their sweat equity involvement. Because contracts. Not to mention the dejection when they saw the numbers difference between estimated costs and actual costs. That didn't stop 16-year-old me from dreaming about this old house coming to our old house to fix the worst kitchen on the block, possibly in the county. A 10 by 11 room with one window and 5 doors, one of which, while open, provided a great sightline of the house's only toilet. Yeah, did I mention I grew up in an old house, like 1910 old? Which is why, as much as I love turn-of-the-century styles, I'm all for modern conveniences and well-designed kitchens. One positive, though, was the small walk-in pantry, the second scariest place in the house. There was an unused built-in cabinet with creaky doors and a dark and dingy interior. Even when I was small enough to fit, I never crawled inside, not even for hide and seek, because sometimes scratching and scuttling could be heard coming from its depths. The most spooky spot in the house was the closet under the stairs. There was so much stuff shoved in there. Who knows what might have been living under the boxes and bicycle tires? Oh, wait, no. The scariest thing in the house was the door to the attic storage. Because it was located under a clipped ceiling, it was short. Just the size for troublemaking gremlins to hide behind waiting for lights out. Kinda wishing I'd added more green to the striped wallpaper. And a shelf full of potion bottles would have been nice. But some of the previous paintings got more complex than intended, so I kept things simple this time. I'm happy to share this yellow-centric arting session, and if it got a tad creepy, well, 'tis the season after all. But now I've got to get dressed. So, until next time, remember, clothing is your friend. And stay artsy, my friends.